I know a lot of people out there have big dreams and things that they are listening to the naysayers. They're still sitting at home, but what else would you say or recommend to them other than just ignore the naysayers that might help them to step forward versus staying where they are?
Well, you got to believe in you. And you know what? I used to be shy. And my father, we went on Good Morning America that same year as Bob Hope. 1986 was a big year. And I was just going to fit in with my family. There were a lot of Osmonds on there. But then Joan London singled me out and said, "Hey, Nathan, do you enjoy this entertainment business?" And guess who freezes on national TV? I did. And so I said, yes, ma'am, And that's all I said on the whole show. And my father jumps in and saves the interview. On the way out of that studio, my father put his arm around me and he changed my life. When he said, "Son, it's a talk show. Talk. People want to hear what you have to say." And on one end, I was humiliated. I thought I let my dad down. But on the other end, guess what? He said, "People want to hear what you have to say." And I believed him. Sometimes you have to believe in somebody else's belief in you until your own belief kicks in. So make sure you surround yourself with cheerleaders and not toxic dreambusters. Okay, but the second thing is this: be careful what you tell yourself because you might start believing it. Just like this guy that I tried to become in this musical, You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, I was cast as Charlie Brown. And so as I prepared for that role, I started wearing the yellow shirt with the black zigzag. I started saying good grief everywhere I went. I put paper bags on my head. I started I went to acting school. And I worked on this one particular scene called The Doctor Is In, where Lucy says, "Charlie Brown, you need to come out and talk about everything that's wrong with you." And he does. And here's some of the lyrics of that song. It says, "I'm not very handsome or clever or lucid. I've always been stupid at spelling and numbers. I've never been much playing football or baseball or stickball or checkers or marbles or ping pong. I'm usually awful at parties and dances. I stand like a stick, or I cough, or I laugh, or I don't bring a present, or I spill the ice cream, or I get so depressed that I stand and I scream. Oh, how could there possibly be one small person as thoroughly, totally, utterly blah as me?" And those casting directors were spot on. That was me. I literally became that character. And it just about brought me down. I had to figure out what's going on inside. I'm not a depressed person, but why do I feel depressed? Duh. It wasn't until I got still and I sat in my car and I prayed and I meditated. I had this spiritual moment where someone said to me, "Why don't you love yourself the way that I love you?" And I changed. I realized I had accomplished my goal. I had literally become Charlie Brown. You know what killed Heath Ledger? The Joker.
Yeah.
He couldn't get out of that role. Perhaps you're playing a role too, and perhaps you're listening to the wrong voice inside. Be careful what you tell yourself because you might believe it. I was failing math. I was depressed. I felt like that other Charlie Brown character that walks around with that dust around him. You ever feel that way? You're
Yeah.
just in a
Yes.
funk.
What was that, Linus?
Yes.
Pigpen.
So you got to get away from the Lucys of the world and start hanging around people that believe in you. And if you don't believe in you, find someone who does and believe in that belief until your own belief kicks in.